Karen Bratina, president of the local teachers union for the Trillium Lakelands District School Board, joining me now. Karen, thanks very much for taking the time today.
Oh, thank you for having me. And so I do represent the elementary teachers in Trillium Lakeland. So that covers the Kawartha Lakes, Haliburton, and Muskoka.
Fantastic. And we're going to be talking about specifically Muskoka, but overall the entire board. Karen, just wanted to get your overall opinions right now as to how things are being rolled out for this school opening, your thoughts and feelings, and as well as what's being reflected from the teachers.
Well, I'd have to sum it up in one word: frustration. And this government had, notified boards at the end of June, asking them to put together 3 plans, and they did that. And I would like you to know, and all the viewers to know, that we've worked collaboratively through this entire process. And so being ready, because of course we didn't know what September would look like. And as you know, in early August, the plan was announced. It's an inadequate plan. It does not allow for a safe return for students and staff in all of Ontario. And now with the advocacy and the outcry of parents and educators and community members, the government made some changes, some amendments. Some of them are good, and but there is still a shortfall, and it's not an adequate plan. So we are continuing to demand that this government invest in. They say that education is a priority for them. They need to invest the money and ensure that the opening of schools in September, even if it is a delayed opening, is a safe reopening.
Karen, I recently spoke to Norm Miller about the issue of, especially what BC has done, pausing the opening of schools in September. Now, this was a call made by the Liberal leader of Ontario to do this here as well. Norm's response was they were following through with what Dr. David Williams has suggested, that they are safe to reopen schools at this point. Do you think that that is an appropriate way to look at this, or should we be waiting at least a month before we reopen schools?
Okay, so absolutely this is a shortfall and we need to be waiting. I think that a delay would be the right thing to do. I know that the government announced that they will allow boards to stagger the entry. That's not enough. There are so many things to consider. They made an announcement last week that boards were allowed to access their reserves. That's another issue, but that's going to take time. I was talking to Trillium Lakelands this morning, and there will be a board meeting tomorrow, I believe, at 2 p.m., where they will actually have this discussion. It's not as easy as simply accessing the funds within the reserve. This money, this funding for the reopening during this unprecedented time, needs to come from the government. And so I absolutely would support a delay so that everything is put into place. They talk about the idea that they want to ensure safe social distancing within the classroom, and we would like to see it at 2 meters. And if we're going to do that, we're going to reduce class size. And if we're going to reduce class size, we need to hire new teachers, and we probably need to look at new spaces. And those numbers can't be determined in 2 weeks. We also have to consider the fact that we want to ensure that the work sites where the students are attending are safe for them. The HVAC systems, for instance, we've been given the approval to utilize some funds provided by the government, but there are no guidelines that have been provided. So what are they expecting? What is a safe operating HVAC system?
Karen, last question for you in this round of questioning. I don't know if you saw, the Toronto Star recently posted a story that the Toronto District School Board had put forward a plan to have shortened school days that would save millions of dollars and also give teachers prep time and split these classes up. The Ford government denied that proposal, saying that teachers are unwilling to meet the time amount that they're supposed to be teaching the students. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts is I don't have enough information. What I can tell you is our federation, so ETFO, along with all other affiliates, have requested a meeting with the Ministry of Education, with the Ministry of Labor. They want to discuss their concerns about the reopening of schools in September. And so to make it political and say that it's the unions that are interfering is unacceptable. It's because that's not the truth. If this, if this government and this Minister of Education prioritizes the safety of students and staff, they would be talking to all stakeholders. I can tell you, and without a doubt, that Mr. Lecce and the Ford government have brought OPSPA, OPC, the educators across this province, the support workers across this province, and parents together like we've never been together before, because we are frustrated. We are demanding more money to be invested into the reopening of schools during this unprecedented time. So I can't speak for the Toronto District School Board, but I can tell you it's not the unions that are interfering.